Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to another exciting The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles on KwingsLetsPlays. How's everybody doing? Welcome back. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, as well as joining our website for the free official newsletter on KwingsLetsPlays.com. That's KwingsLetsPlays.com. We do a newsletter every day. It tells you what's happening on the channel, and it really does help out a lot. So yesterday we were introduced to Iris Wilson, which was not your typical Dr. Watson situation. And Iris will be playing a big role in the game from now on. So we hope you guys will enjoy more of Iris's input in the game. And today I believe we will be speaking with Herlock Holmes again, as well as a little bit more of the investigation, and we might get to part of the trial today. So, without further ado, let's jump into this. So, it begins again! The game is afoot. Hold it! I'm excited. February 19th, 2:38 p.m. Briar Road. Hi, beautiful. Oh, Pop-Tarts. Very nice. I'm okay, thank you. It looks as though the police are still here, carrying on their investigation.
Hello, chat. Perfect! So let's find Inspector Gregson as quickly as possible.
That's right. Yes, and let's see if he'll take a break from his chips to look at that silver tip Iris gave us for him. The silver tip. Okay.
Sorry about
It's okay. Give him the guy. You have to do the armband. Armband is always an absolute. You know. It just is. Okay, that's the wrong one. Open this. Present armband. Inspector Gregson, could I show you this? I suppose. To know what this is, I've never seen that insignia before. It's worn by defense lawyers in the Empire of Japan as a symbol of their profession. In other words, it's a worthless trinket here in Great Britain.
What? You jerk?
Oh no, it's very important to me. It shows my spirit. An English gentleman keeps things like his spirit very much to himself, I'll have you know.
Well, maybe that's their problem.
Oh.
Oh, don't give up, Mr. Naruhodo.
It's too late. He's crushed my spirit already. Okay. Here we go.
Mean.
Inspector, do you have a moment? I'm sorry to say I don't. I'm a very busy man, after all. Much too busy to talk to the pair of foreign gagabouts, that's for sure.
We have these for you, Inspector. A present from Miss Iris Wilson.
What? For me? From her ladyship? Her ladyship? Give that to me at once. Come on, hand it over. That's for me. Don't wait for me to give it to you, will you? Wow, she has a bigger role than we thought. So what was that coin exactly? It's a silver crown, obviously, but it's not a lot more than that. It's an appearance fee, if that's what it is.
An appearance fee? Oh, I see. You mean...
That's right, for the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. Her ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me every time.
Okay. Yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them avidly.
Of course, her using my name without my say-so does make me the butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes, but still. I'm sorry, Inspector, that must be difficult for you. Never mind that! So, what do you want to know then, eh? Sorry? Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that wouldn't be a problem, it says. Well, obviously, it's not a problem. Go on, fire away. What do you want to know? Wow.
He seems upset. Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector, we'd very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsume's lodgings. The accused.
Ah, the little knife-wielding mustache Japanese fellow. He lives in a right old hovel just over there, look. Amber, it's the building that's all bricked up. On the first floor of that house, on the corner where that wreck of bicycle shop popped up.
That is nearby indeed.
If I remember correctly, the landlord is Mr. John Garadib. Right, well, if you see her again, you make sure you give her ladyship my regards, you hear? I mean it, you tell her that Gregson sends his very best wishes. Don't worry, Inspector, we will. Goodbye for now, then. And long live her ladyship. Wow. Miss Wilson has a very big reputation. Especially for someone so young.
Yeah, at least he told us what we wanted to know before he left.
Yeah, so shall we go and see what we can find in Mr. Natsume's lodgings?
Definitely!
Okay, why don't you have a bite of your Pop-Tart?
Okay.
Okay, so cute. A new location has been added. So we have the prison, Sholmes Suite, and then Mr. Natsume's lodgings. We still haven't been there yet. I wonder what awaits us. I don't have time, sweetie. Thank you, though. You're very cute, though.
The 19th of February, Mr. Natsume's lodging. Oh wow, look at, he has all these war stuff.
Well, he probably was from the Japan military. This place isn't too bad. Oh, he has a window. But we just saw the windows were all boarded up.
And there's a dress there.
Oh.
May I help you?
Yes. Would this be the residence of Mr. John... oh, wait, no, that's someone else. John Garadeb?
Garadeb, yeah.
Garadeb? Would this be the residence of a Mr. John Garadeb?
That's a weird last name.
Indeed it would, sir. And who, may I say, is calling?
Okay, never mind. So this is the residence of John. We're not in Mr.
Natsume's house.
He probably has, like, the boarded-up windows. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo is representing Mr. Soseki Natsume. I believe he takes lodgings here. Oh. We would very much like to ask him some questions about our client.
Oh. One moment, please. I shall convey the message to Mr. Garadeb.
Did you see that, Miss Susato? Susato? Susie?
Miss Susie is okay, Ryunosuke. I like it when you call me a nickname.
Okay.
It's perfectly fine.
Okay, Miss Susie, that was a real English maid, wasn't it? English. Yes,
that was an English maid.
That was a real English.
As I understand it, if anyone standing in English society employs a number of household staff. Oh, anyone outstanding in English society. But that was the first time I've ever seen one in the flesh. Oh, this day keeps getting better.
It certainly feels like we've really arrived now, doesn't it?
We need only to meet a butler, and the experience will be complete.
Need to meet a butler now. Well, I'm not sure I'd go that far, but I understand the sentiment, of course. Hello.
Thank you for waiting. Mr. Garadeb will see you now. This way.
Oh my gosh.
This guy looks... I don't know what kind of voice he has. I don't know anything about this person.
Good day to you, John Garadeb, at your service.
Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. He's a defense lawyer.
Yes, do excuse me not getting up. Took a shot to the knee after a few years in the Battle of Miwan, don't you know? Earned a medal for my pains, but had to withdraw from service. Handed over the reins to the up-and-comings. So he's a retired soldier. Yes, it's a heck of a job getting up and down stairs. I can tell you, don't get out as much as you can imagine. Yeah, it's quite a climb up here to the second floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top of the stairs.
Oh. You really must take more exercise, Mr. Naruhodo.
Ouch. Do you think so?
Yeah, and her name is... It doesn't matter, but Susie is fine. But I think it's Susato. Okay, but Susie is good. Well, Mr. Garadab, no doubt you were very courageous to earn yourself a medal.
Oh, it was nothing. The medal's just a,
Folderol?
Folderol, really. Wouldn't like to offend the general, though, so grudgingly I displayed it on the wall.
Yeah, right.
Why don't you fetch it down, Joan? Let these people see it properly.
All right.
Joan, fetch the Dash it all, woman, be careful!
It burned his hand.
Oh, dearie me, I do beg your pardon, sir.
You jolly nearly took the skin off my hands!
I shall be more careful, sir.
So anyway, there you have it, living the quiet life now. Yeah, I see. Now then, I hear you want to know about the chapter lodgings downstairs, is that correct?
Yes, we would be very grateful if you could answer some questions for us.
Only too pleased, naturally, especially if it helps to keep the peace here in Blighty. I forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, as I'm sure you're aware. So this case is very much in the public eye, as it were. Oh, is that it? That is unsanitary what he just did. Even had some famous detective poking around, you know, in this old house, wouldn't you believe?
Yes, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. I mean, Herlock Sholmes.
That's right. Could have been. Didn't catch the chap's name. Not really my cup of tea. All that detective business.
Oh, but you have a copy of the Rats magazine here, so...
No.
Anyway, the chop's investigating the foreigner's room as we speak.
So he's in Natsumi's room, eh? It's a bally nuisance, it is. The whole neighborhood's twitching its curtains now. I don't like it at all. It's jolly unsettling. Okay, about Mr. Natsumi. Just gave him a stuck-up rich voice. I don't know.
No. This guy seems like he's pretending like everything is like too below him. Like even Mr. Holmes, he's pretending he doesn't know who that is.
Yeah. It's a snobby voice.
It's good. It works.
Yeah, okay.
About Mr. Natsumi then, Mr. Garadab, please do tell us. He could be a snobby person mixed with a soldier, but I don't even know how that would work.
Ah, yes, the Japanese chap. Only been lodging here for a week. Beep, beep, beep. Just 1 week? So he moved in very recently then. I have 2 lodgers most of the time, one on the ground and one below us. The first floor room became available a week ago, you see? Dash it all, Joan. Please be careful.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I'm terribly sorry, sir.
Wow.
She should get fired.
If you want to know my opinion, I thought he was a shady sort from the moment I set eyes on him.
Oh, why?
Well, he seemed to have the most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulder. The man's had a shady written all across his sweat-soaked brow, if you ask me. I said to myself, Joan, that man is trouble. Sooner or later, he's going to do something untoward. And I'm really wrong about anything at all, ever. At all. Anything. I'm never wrong.
And we won't be calling this maid as a witness, that's for sure.
I won't.
Yeah, watch what's-his-name do it.
Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about the man at all?
Yes, oh yes, indeed, there was.
And she's dying to tell us. The shady lodger.
They're just... I don't want to say the word, but they just don't like this guy because he's Japanese.
Yeah, there's obvious prejudice there, yep. Had you noticed anything else about all your lodger, Miss Natsumi?
Oh my word, yes, the man was shadier than an orchard.
But how? Could you elaborate? He didn't do anything. She hasn't given any evidence that he did anything.
That's right.
Well, take the man's room, for instance. Absolutely stuffed, full of books it is. More than anyone could ever read.
Yeah, maybe more than you could read.
He never so much as passes the time of day with another living soul.
It's because he doesn't speak English.
I haven't seen a single visitor
Cool, because nobody knows him. He's from somewhere else.
Wow,
I'm
Amber.
gonna jump through the street and strangle her.
He just trots off to the old bookshop every single day. Comes back at 5 to light the gas fire.
Yeah, somebody's lighting a gas light.
And the funny little man is up long past the time everyone else in the house has gone to bed too.
It's because he's an English
Well,
student.
excuse him for actually learning something. Unlike you, probably know nothing except for how to pour tea badly. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh, Amber. All right.
All right.
Oh, I see.
The gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed at around 9 each night. But I've never known that Japanese fella to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning.
Oh, excuse him for working hard.
Ah.
Oh, I'm getting angry. Oh, could you clarify something, I'm wondering?
What, pray?
How do you know so much about Mr. Natsumi's routine? Are you creepy?
Oh!
I'd understood that neither of the lodgers live on this floor of the house. Is that correct? Are you looking outside their window?
That's right, yes. They're both below us on the first floor in street level.
Then how is that you know so much about the lives of your lodgers?
That's a good question.
The precise times that they came back in the evening, for example. Even the times that they go to bed.
Oh no! Good grief, Joan! Be more careful, woman!
Oh my goodness, sir! I'm terribly sorry.
Something doesn't add up here.
Carrie says that voice is killing me. I don't know which of our voices what. They're both a little... They're
yeah.
characters.
It seems that the incident took place at around 5 in the evening, correct? Did you happen to look out the window at around that time? The window?
Yeah, right
there's a window right there.
Yes, we noticed the window over there looks out over Briar Road. The incident took place on the pavement just on the far side of that street. Was there anyone suspicious loitering nearby at all?
5 o'clock is dinner time in the household here. So I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. How about you, Joan?
Well, I see everything else, but no, not that day, sir. It would have been dusk outside already at that hour. And with the fog as well, I should think it would have been quite impossible to see the other side of the road.
But you see everyone else coming home at 2 in the morning.
I know. There you go.
She sees everybody else coming home, but conveniently she didn't see that night.
She's
the killer! I hate this maid.
Okay, Emperor.
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary then?
Such as?
Anything at all, even if it seems unrelated. People are saying Savage Amber in the chat.
Well... yes?
I hate the maid too.
Was there something then? Well, it's nothing particularly significant. Oh my gosh! For the love of God, Joan, watch what you're doing!
Oh, dearie me! What have I done? I'm awfully sorry, sir, for the 5th time.
Do be more careful, woman.
Of course, sir.
Yes?
Oh, Naruhodo.
Yeah.
I have exceedingly good memory, and as far as I remember, nothing of significance took place here at that hour. Nothing at all.
Oh, really? Mr. Garadeb? The way you were talking before, it sounded like, well, there might have been. Oh, well, I was saying I was just a trifling matter. Oh my gosh, woman, again! Joan! What is the matter with you? You keep this up and I'm gonna toss you to the curb.
Why does she keep pouring that on him?
Begging your pardon, sir. Nothing happened.
Wait, every time he's about to say something, she pours coffee on him.
Yes, quite. Nothing happened. We sat down to a quite uneventful meal. Joan?
Oh, that's right, Mr. Garadab.
I feel...
What is the matter with these two?
I don't know. It sounds like something happened here in this room on that evening of the incident. But what?
I wish I knew. Okay, Mr. Natsumi's
Wow.
room.
Yeah, she's covering it up with spilling the coffee on him.
Yep. Could you tell us which floor Mr. Natsumi's room is on, please?
The maid is sus.
Why, certainly. Just below us on the first floor.
And Mr. Sholmes is investigating there, even as we speak.
Yes, told me Nats, his name, had asked me to look into the matter, so I gave him the key.
Mr. Natsumi has engaged Mr. Sholmes' services?
That's a blatant lie.
No, he did not.
It would be alright if we also had a look around in Mr. Natsumi's room, I mean? I don't see why not. It's just down one flight of stairs. Who knows if we'll find anything that could help us with the case, but we have to try.
Wow, now everyone's traipsing around his room.
We need all the clues we can to lay our hands on, shall we, Susie?
Yes, and while we're there, we can speak with Mr. Sholmes again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more.
Oh no. Alright, well, thanks for nothing, I guess.
That lady really is mean.
Alright, so while we have the opportunity, let's investigate this guy's room before going to see Sholmes. Because I'm sure,
Dr. Clue says, investigate the room.
Yep.
I'm sure.
That uniform looks fairly ancient, doesn't it?
It's clearly been well looked after, though. Yeah, we'll probably not be able to. After
That old thing? Puh, not much better than rags, really. Oh? I wore that ceremonial garb at my retirement bash, you know. But I'm not one for dwelling on the past. Would you gladly have thrown it out? But you know how it is. Anyway, doesn't hurt to have odd piece of memorabilia lying around, does it?
You have it displayed on your wall, dude. Oh, I see.
Perhaps we should leave the past in the past.
Why do you have it displayed on your wall, then? He clearly is proud of his past, but then he's pretending he doesn't care. It's so weird.
That's a full-size cannon! What's it doing in here?
Oh my! It's real! I thought it might have been a replica!
That old thing? Bah, that's a little more than a toy.
What?
I'm sorry, what? The army was selling it off when I retired, so I decided to give it a new home. Never know when the enemy might attack next. Jolly useful to have a cannon about the house.
What?
Really? It isn't overkill? Be prepared is what I always say. You never know what this twisted world is going to throw at you next, my boy.
Do you think there might be trouble brewing, Mr. Garadab?
Always is. Take Joan here. Never fails to have a clean apron in reserve. Dries them over the barrel, you see. They dry very well on the cannon there, Joan tells me, which rather proves my point, I feel. It's been reduced to a drying rack. No wonder the huge cannon looks like it's hanging its head in
Oh
shame.
my gosh.
Wow. That's awfully interesting. Oh, there's some books here.
That's so weird.
I notice you have a pile of books here, Mr. Garadeb. Do you enjoy reading? Ever experienced a London winter, boy? The nights are long. No better way to pass the time than in front of the fire with a jolly good book.
Oh, There's a copy of the Rants magazine here, too, I see. No doubt Mr. Garrett enjoys the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, too.
The great detective has a great many followers, it would seem.
Yeah, but he pretends he didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, he didn't say anything. Alright, so...
It's like, I know people like this. They just pretend like they're above everything.
Oh.
Look at that enormous screen. It must have been put there deliberately, surely.
Yeah, it certainly seems like someone's trying to hide something from view. What could be behind it, I wonder?
Let's look at it. I'm gonna have a very quick look. Just a little peek.
Maybe let's not, Susie.
Okay.
I think the maid is gonna head us off with a cup of tea. Okay, so that was useless. Try this.
This window looks over Briar Road, where the young woman was attacked.
Oh yes, I can make out the policeman on the far side of the road investigating the crime scene.
The glass is rather murky though, isn't it? You can't see very clearly.
Does this thing open up at all, I wonder?
Oh, I should underestimate the bitterness of the fog. I shouldn't underestimate the bitterness of the London winter, sir.
Sorry?
The London winter! As soon as you open that window, the tea will freeze in the pot. No Londoner would go opening the window at dusk in the middle of winter, I assure you.
It seems very unlikely that these two would have seen anything of the incident then, I guess.
Yet
Yeah.
she kept spilling tea on him every time he said something.
That's true. There was a lot of tea to be spilled.
I really don't like this lady because she didn't say anything that proved that there was anything wrong. And the guy had him renting from him and he didn't even know how to pronounce his name. He said his name was Mr. Natsu whatever. He should at least know the name of the guy who's paying rent in his place.
Ah, we can look at more of the room. There we go. Alright, let's check out this thing.
He should have learned his name.
Look at that crockery on display here. It's rather unusual, isn't it, Susie? Oh.
Oh my! A delightful London dresser! Isn't it delightful? Although the shelves seem to be broken and the crockery is... Oh dear, it's in pieces actually.
It really is. The word cracked wouldn't do that chinaware justice now, would it?
Oh, I wonder... Perhaps the cannon was fired at it. Oh, perhaps the cannon was fired at it.
Yes, probably something like that, but let's not delve too deeply here. Okay, so the crockery is all messed
cute.
up.
They have that little tea. That's what we learned to... Oh, yeah, that's what we learned in our baking class. Like when you make like little cakes and tarts and stuff, you put them on those little things and then you make tea and then like you can have it. If you go to a special place where they serve tea, that's how they serve it. Oh, look! Sorry.
Fine.
What a wonderful collection of cakes lined up on the gleaming silver cake stand.
Lined up? It looks like more like someone has half demolished them to me.
Yeah, it's kind of crooked.
Afternoon tea time is a time of indulgence, you know. It's quite the English way. It is Mr. Garrodet's custom to take two cakes with his tea.
That sounds delightful.
Oh, wait a minute. Though, there are at least 10 cakes on this cake stand.
Well, naturally it would never do to waste the leftovers.
Wait, she eats all of them.
So whatever Garrodet doesn't eat, I say to myself, Joan, you shall have to tidy up now.
Oh, magnificent of you. That explains the weight gain.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh, she's like, well, I can't let these go to waste.
I put out more than there is. Oh dear, whatever will I do?
Wait,
Consumes them all.
The candlestick.
Yep, the candlestick.
This old candle holder looks a little out of place here, wouldn't you say?
Yes, you're right. It's clearly supposed to be gold, but it's almost completely black for some reason. Ah, that old thing? Yes. Just a cheap, piece of iron mongery. Gimcrack, really? I don't know. Oh?
I don't know.
I used it when I was studying, don't you know, for my commission. I knew it's old, hardly worth hanging on it. Really, but well, still has its uses sometimes.
Of course!
Does everything in this room have some elaborate story behind it?
Oh, they're memories, Mr. Naruhodo. Memories.
Okay, then. Memories.
Sorry,
okay.
there's a little gnat.
Well,
What about that thing on the floor, Luke? The little thing under that. Oh, that's
no,
nothing.
you can't.
What about the metal on the wall? Did we already look at that?
I'm investigating, sweetie. So we did this. We did. What can we? No, that's just laundry. Oh, there we go.
There's a painting.
Mm-hmm. That portrait of Mr. Garadeb is glaring at me, I swear.
Yeah, it's weird. Have you noticed that all the little frames contain photographic prints of Mr. Garadeb as well?
Yeah, and there seems to be a statue of a lion on the mantelpiece as well. Ah, yes. It seemed to come back from a local pawnbroker with that little trinket. Seemed to come back? What do you mean by that? The chap who runs the place is a Bali wizard. Went in to sell him something and came out with that thing. In point of fact, now I think about it, I'd rather often find myself leaving the place with something I don't need.
The lion ornament certainly does seem surplus to requirements.
Susie doesn't pull her punches, or her throws for that matter. Okay, so we did the lion. All that's left is his medal.
Yeah. That looks like a Medal of Honor, and it's showcased on a very grand banner.
Yeah, it's displayed with some pride, I would say, although it bothers me that it's not straight. What? That old thing? Oh my gosh, yeah, this guy's super annoying.
Dude.
Sorry. I should be glad to see the back of it, but the general would turn in his grave if I disposed of it. The wall's the best place for it, keeps the Bali thing out of my way. So it's just been polished to shine by accident, I suppose.
There appears to be an inscription on the medal itself. Look. Let me see. It says, for distinguished participation.
Sounds like the kind of honors even I could be in line for.
Participation ribbon.
Well, one doesn't like to blow one's own trumpet, but I was given that for my time in the army. Can't measure any officer by the number of medals to his name, of course. Common knowledge in the military circles.
Here, you have one medal, dude.
Wow, this dude is, you know, vain. Oh, there's more stuff over here. A giant cannon
He's
shells.
pretending. It's, what do you call it? Oh, whatever.
Are those mortar shells? They're enormous.
Ah, I hadn't noticed. What are they doing here?
And why are they on the fireplace if they heat up?
I know, right?
Oh, those old things? Couple of little rounds I accidentally fired in the barracks during training, you know. Became a bit of a colorful regiment folklore, that incident. You mean you deliberately hunted out the spent shells? Well, I wouldn't say deliberately, my dear boy.
Oh my god.
They were only scrap iron after all. Usually just thrown away, I believe. But you never know when things might come in useful, do you? Useful for what exactly?
Useful for showing off.
Yes, well... Joan here did manage to knock one of the Bailey things on the floor the other day, while she was dusting.
Oh no!
Hadn't shed a tear since 1869 before then, you know. Maybe reconsider throwing them away? Yeah, I mean, of course she shed a tear. She was worried they were going to explode, probably.
I think he was saying it fell on his foot, but I don't know.
No, it fell on the floor.
Oh.
She was dusting and one of them fell.
Right.
Usually when those things hit the ground, they go boom. Alright, so we've explored everything now.
You know what? This guy has, like, what they call it, false humility, where he pretends to be overly humble when he's not.
I would like a little piece of Pop-Tart.
Sorry.
It's okay. Thank you, sweetie.
You're welcome. He cried, I think. Okay, oh, also when, he said that Susato was being savage about the lion, she said something like, oh, I think that's more than, like, is customary or would seem like the amount you would need to buy to leave, like, to make someone feel good. So basically she was saying, like, you said that you bought that and you felt like you needed to buy something. That's a lie, because that's like a really expensive item, so obviously you bought it on purpose. Like, that's what she was like being savage about, I think. It's kind of hard to tell with all the English like terms. All right,
yes, it is.
Great to see you guys. Draugel, Rebecca, Scientist, Renee, Anna Sensei says he has a bad case of false humility. Definitely, Anna Sensei, you got it. Hey, VG, Shine. Gogeta Blue says, bro, only one medal.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, Murga, Titan. Hey, Big Nate. Hey, Timmy. Cannon reduced to a drying rack, really? Hey, J. Arzu. No one would want to rob him, that's for
this
certain.
old thing.
No one would rob him, that's for certain, says Jay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely know people like this that
Oh my gosh.
everything that they do is like so small, like that, but then they're like they pretend like it's no big deal, but in reality they have like pictures of it like everywhere. It's like, dude.
Yeah, they're overly proud of it. All right, let's go see Sherlock.
Let's do this.
Oh my gosh. Oh, he has a lucky cat.
It's like when a woman goes to a party and she says this old thing, like whenever someone's like, oh, I love your dress, and she'll be like, it's nothing, I just had it in the back of my closet, when they obviously bought it for the event. 19th of February, Mr. Natsumi's room.
Oh, and a cat. Wow, would you look at this place?
We're eating a Pop-Tart.
I miss breakfast. And smell it! It's so musty in here.
Kitty.
I suppose it's the mountains of old books that are responsible for that. Oh yeah, that room would smell really weird because of all the books.
Oh yeah, Draugel says if the ammo was spent, then it probably won't be explosive, actually.
Yeah.
But he can use it as a paperweight, definitely.
I mean, why would you want to use something like that as a paperweight?
I don't even use paperweights, actually. I don't think I've ever seen so many books in all my life.
No, me neither.
He likes to read.
It's so dark in here, too.
I know someone who has this many books in their house.
Is that the window over there?
Well, it was the window, I think, yes, once upon a time. But for some reason, it's been closed up with bricks and mortar. So this is where Mr. Natsumi lives, huh?
By the way, I haven't spotted Mr. Sholmes anywhere, have you?
No, that's true, but according to Mr. Garadeb, he's here somewhere. The great detective should be around here somewhere. Well, we'll just have to look around the room. Or first we'll examine...
Maybe he's in a pile of books somewhere. He'll probably appear.
I want to look at the kitty.
Its tail moved.
Oh! It's so cute. No, don't. Oh, look, it stretches like a real cat. And it ran away.
Oh my, what an adorable little cat. Perhaps he's looking after the books while his master is away.
I don't know about that. He disappeared into the pile of books as quick as a flash. It was a tricolor Mike, was it? Do they even have that sort of cat here in Great Britain?
Mike, maybe?
Mike?
I don't know.
Perhaps Mr. Natsumi bought the little creature with him from Japan. I mean, brought it.
That's made me feel homesick now.
Already? We've only been in the country for 2 days. Ryunosuke?
You can't feel homesick with, Susie with you. She brought Japan with her.
Yeah, but he doesn't really know her that well.
Oh, look, it's a beckoning cat from home.
Yeah, he gets to, though. It's a bit bug and bulky, isn't it? Surely Mr. Natsumi didn't bring that, Mankani Neko all the way from Japan with him.
I hardly think you're in a position to comment, Mr. Naruhodo.
Are you forgetting that enormous Daruma doll that you brought in your luggage?
Well, it can be dangerous traveling aboard. I wanted a lucky charm.
Well, I imagine Mr. Natsumi wanted the same, and this cat is sure to beckon good luck to him.
It's not doing a very good job so far, is it? Yeah, that's true.
You mustn't say such things.
I didn't say a word! Why are my eyes such a giveaway? It's because, like, never mind.
I don't think you're gonna have a minute to eat that, Luke.
Sometimes Amber can read my mind. It feels like it. Like, your girl just has really weird abilities the longer they get to know you.
That's true.
Look at those books stacked up there. They almost reach the ceiling.
They're all works of English literature, and they all smell so musty.
With this volume of books to hand, you'd never be short of reading material, I suppose.
No, what a dreamy idea.
Sorry. A bad dream, maybe. For me, at least. Mind you, I don't imagine the book that's the bottom of the pile now will ever be read again, though.
Ah, so reading, it is an experience that comes but once in a lifetime, just as the tea ceremony teaches us.
I certainly didn't expect the conversation to turn down the path of a tea ceremony philosophy, though. Oh, you never know, Ryunosuke. Okay, so it looks like a pot of honey, like for Winnie the Pooh or something. Winnie the Pooh. You can't have my Pop-Tart.
Oh, no, I was gonna move around so you could eat your Pop-Tart.
Aw, that's sweet. Thank you, sweetie.
What button do I press? X?
Mm-hmm.
That desk seems to be wedged into a crevice between the mountains of books on either side.
I suppose Mr. Natsumi would sit there and read while stroking his kitty. But surrounded on all sides by these towering old tomes, surely he dreamt of books every night as well.
Yes, he must have done, mustn't he? Oh, what's this?
Oh?
It's a receipt from a secondhand bookshop. Your books.
Oh yes, Mr. Natsumi's name's on it. Look, and the date of the purchase, 2 days ago at 4:45 p.m.
The day of the incident! Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh, yes.
That's just a short while before he was embroiled in that terrible attack. He must have been on his way back from buying some old books.
Ah, we found something important and put it in the court record.
And this is why you should never go outside.
Yep.
Are you sure you don't want me to move around, Luke?
I'm okay. Let's see, so, wait, did that? No, that didn't change color. That changed color because that's a lucky cat.
The pillow, I think.
The pillow? Oh, he looks like he was writing something. Look at all these balls of paper on the floor. They're all notes scrawled all over them in English. It looks like the basket of trash is so full that they've just fallen out.
I think Mr. Natsume must have it deeply immersed in his research, don't you?
Or deeply averse to tidying up his mess.
I wouldn't like to speculate which is closer to the truth.
Okay.
Alright, now I'm done.
Whoops. I didn't want to do that one again. Da-da-da! You're gonna click on the pillow now?
Oh, looks like it's not there.
You can't click on the pillow. Ah, there he is reading books. Anything else to click
Mr.
on besides him?
Sholmes! No, he's the only person. It's only him. I'll vamp while you eat your... hurry up and eat. So, let's wrap up what we learned while Luke eats his Pop-Tart. First, we found Mr. Sholmes over there. Next, we realized that the landlord doesn't know how to pronounce the Japanese guy's name. Natsume. Then we found this cool cat here. A Nico. And we talked to a maid who obviously is prejudiced against the guy living downstairs under her. And we found out that he has a bunch of cannons and stuff. Oh, we didn't look at this. It's not looked at yet. And the cannons are reduced to what? Oh, here. Drying rack.
Yep, examine, and then click on the window. Could you even call this a window?
I think so. It was a window at one time, after all. Although, all that remains is a frame around some bricks now.
Yeah, really, it's a wall then, isn't it? By the way, why would anybody deliberately brick it up like that?
I'm afraid I have no idea. Perhaps Mr. Natsumi painted the brick design on in a fit of whimsy.
That's alarming and feasible. Anyway, whatever the reason, the lack of ventilation in here makes the place very oppressive.
I know. It does. I imagine being cooped up in a room like this would be extremely trying. He doesn't even have, like, a bathroom or anything. Or a kitchen.
No, they would go someplace to eat. Unless...
Oh, wow. So you rent a room and then you have to, like,
There's
leave?
this kettle.
So he can only make tea and have books, that's it? Oh my gosh. That seems terrible.
Okay, well, it's time.
Look, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, it's you. There he is. Where did he appear from? He's... Oh.
He seems to be engrossed to the pages of an old book. I hope he won't mind if we disturb him. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. I'm way too close to the mic.
Nope, you're perfect. You two, good day. Now, let me see. Where was it that we met?
Oh, Mr. Sholmes. We were together on the SS Buria.
Of course, yes, the Buria. And let me see, what happened on that voyage? It was Kazuma Asogi. He died tragically, but you were a great help to us, so thank you. Yes, but of course, the case of Mr. Asogi. It was the one with the snake, wasn't it?
Oh!
Well, you seem to remember something of it at least.
He remembers his own way. What an honor to be remembered vaguely by the great Herlock Sholmes. This is Mr...
Oh no, my dear madam. Hold your tongue. I pride myself on superior powers of recollection. Your names are safely recorded in my brain attic.
Yeah, right.
No, they're not. Miss Naruhodo. Oh!
No.
Mr. Susato. Try the other way around, Mr. Sholmes. Ha 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 ha! I lose the first round. Wow.
Why would your name be Susato? It's a girl's name.
I mean, someday her name will be Miss Naruhodo, but... In truth, I had hoped to invite you both to my Baker Street suite the day we arrived in London. But some Scotland Yarders ambushed me at the railway station and whisked me away to a crime scene. It was an entirely trivial case, of course. I solved the matter in more than 30 minutes. So they apprehended Natsumi that short in that amount of time? I'm afraid the pursuance of a new case has dulled my recollection of my past involvements just a little bit. A little? It is a mistake to think that one's brain attic has elastic walls and can be distended to an extent. I do my best to forget useless facts, lest they should elbow out the useful ones. Yes, those are my own words of inimitable
wisdom.
What? Inimitable wisdom. You know, for an adventurer, inventor entitled A Study in Scarlet. Please, there's no need to quote yourself. I don't always remember my pearls of wisdom, but unfortunately my associate pens them beautifully. He means Iris, I suppose.
Mr. Sholmes, we have some extremely important questions to ask you about the trivial case that you just mentioned.
Goodness, what an earnest expression. My dear madam, I should be only pleased. And yes, this murky room is an apt place to discuss the murky case. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mr. Natsumi's arrest. We know this is the lodgings of a Japanese foreign student by the name of Mr. Natsumi. It seems that you assisted in his arrest, Mr. Sholmes, for the stabbing of a young woman outside her, on Briar Road. Ah, Natsumi. Yes, I believe it was his name, rather long along those lines.
But Mr. Natsumi denies it! Was it really justifiable to arrest him on so little?
I'm sorry, Miss Susie, but I have not the slightest idea what you mean.
What?
I can't believe he was looking at Susie squarely in the eye while feigning ignorance.
Yep.
I assure you, I'm not merely feigning ignorance. It would appear as the pair of you are under some miscomprehension. Huh? What? I assure you I have no recollection of accusing your stooped compatriot of the crime. But that doesn't make sense. The good detective of Scotland Yard made the following request of me. Oh, the good detective of Scotland Yard made a following request of me, and I quote verbatim. We need you to ascertain the identity and whereabouts of a man seen fleeing the crime scene. Oh. Ah, a man seen fleeing. Yes, there were quite a number of books scattered on the pavement in the scene. From the books' plates, I was quickly able to determine the bookshop from which they had been purchased. On speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately led to this address. Elementary, wouldn't you say? I believe there's a receipt around here somewhere from the establishment in question. So you don't think Mr. Natsumi is the actual culprit, then? That I could not tell you. But it was aggravating my faculties, hence why I returned here. However, this place is such a trove of fascinating books, I found myself quite lost in bibliography. Do not be deceived into believing that I am a man of leisure. No, 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 no.
Oh dear.
Okay, the landlord. Ah, tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, have you encountered the landlord of these lodgings? Yeah, Mr. Garadeb, a retired military man.
It was the first time I've ever met a soldier from the great British institution that is the services.
And it was the first time I ever met a maid from the great British institution that is service? Ah. I didn't think it was that funny. I do apologize. As you may well be aware, many households in London employ a maid.
Yes, I read as much in my Great Britain primer.
And so, conversely, whether or not a household employs a maid from time has come to, betoken the social standing of those dwelling therein. Betoken their social standing? Nani?
Make their status go up, I guess.
But simply, my dear fellow, those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class. Those who do not are beneath that.
What?
In the upper
echelons
of society, of course, households employ enough staff to constitute a large family.
Goodness, how extraordinary.
Quite right. As you can appreciate, for those on the precarious boundary between middle and lower class, being able to afford just one maid is of first importance. I had no idea. And it is for precisely that reason that I find great stimulation in the situation upstairs. Specifically in the retired army veteran, Mr. John Garadeb. Oh! Affable as he is, the fellow is hiding something. Whether or not it imposes on the circumstances of this case, I am not yet unable to ascertain. I'm thoroughly lost on what he means to say.
Me too.
Okay. The dingy room. This room is thoroughly suffocating for my soul, my dear fellow. I assure you, any man whose lot is dwell in a place such as this will stab somebody sooner or later.
Mr. Natsume has stabbed no one!
Ah, but sooner or later, as I said.
I don't believe that's the issue here.
About this dark little room, though, Mr. Sholmes. Why is there no longer a window? Do you have any idea? No window? Well, I mean, I can clearly see that there's a window of sorts, but it's been completely blocked with bricks. Ah, I see. The answer to that question is quite simple. Window tax. Window tax? What is that?
Yep, that's what Droggle said yesterday in the chat. Surely, not a tax on windows.
Precisely that, my dear madam.
Oh my goodness!
Until relatively recently, a tax was levied on households in this country by the number of their windows. Those of lesser means, having inherited a sizable and costly family home, perhaps rapidly close windows up, while the rich open the windows here, there, and everywhere, in an effort to curry favor with those in power by furnishing them with large sums of tax money.
How awful! And unjust! Forcing people to live in rooms devoid of light!
Indeed, disease was rife as a result. So some 40 years ago, or thereabouts, the window tax was abolished.
Oh wow.
But its legacy remains, as you see. It's squandered lodgings such as these, for example. Squadlid. I suppose Mr. Natsumi's stipend for living here in London isn't very generous, perhaps. It would appear so. I've done a little digging, and discovered that these lodgings were offered at an extraordinary low price.
Because the room is so awful, I should think.
Apparently Mr. Natsumi only moved in here about 1 week ago. Yes, that's correct. However, I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of this accommodation. Oh? Still, that is a little relevance here. A matter not worthy of further attention. Are you sure? I'm curious now. Okay, then. Well, I believe I've told you all I can for now. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, yes. Mr. Naruhodo, was it not your intention to become a practitioner of law? Huh? You remembered that, did you? Will you perhaps be offering your services in this very matter, I wonder? To the occupant of this room, Mr. Natsumi, was it? I'm not sure. Not sure? On what grounds? Well, I actually defended someone in court here only yesterday. Really? Well then, I congratulate you, sir, on an ambition realized, and so promptly, too. The thing is, it's really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients? To trust in their innocence? Yes, trust. Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Natsumi didn't do it, did he? Aha! My dear fellow, I haven't the first idea. Oh, but I thought that's why you were here. Didn't you come back to investigate? Ah, yes. That was indeed my initial intention. But there are simply too many fascinating books here. I couldn't possibly ignore them.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I see. Nevertheless, there are two facts that I can state quite unequivocally. The man who fled the scene of the crime 2 days ago was the Japanese occupant of this room, and there are witnesses who swear to have seen the same man commit the crime. This is all I can say. And one more thing.
Oh, what is it, Mr. Sholmes? Tell us.
I cannot say with any certainty whether or not it is of relevance to this case, but I'm quite sure that the retired armyman who owns this property is hiding something. Mr. Garadeb is? Mr. Sholmes said as much before, actually, didn't he? Anyway, at present, that is really all that plays on my mind in relation to this case.
Mr. Naruhodo! As yet our investigations have uncovered nothing that could help establish Mr. Natsumi's innocence.
No, you're right. Perhaps it's time we probed a little deeper into Mr. Garadeb's secret. Just remember, I cannot be sure whether the landlord's secret will prove to be of relevance or not. But I wish you every success, of course, Mr. Naruhodo. And he disappears.
Yep.
A busy man indeed. He's gone back to his books in the corner of the room. Ha!
He disappears and he's gonna read. Help,
Goes
he's
right back to
reading.
reading again. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes. Yes, so true. To be or not to be? That is indeed the question, Mr. Naruhodo. To be or not to be brushed off? That is the question, and answer is all too clear.
Oh, let's just leave Mr. Sholmes in peace, shall we?
Well, we can't talk to Mr. Sholmes anymore. Anything else of importance in here? So we found the clue. The cat ran off, though. Kitty was cute. Did you see how it stretched and stuff? Just like a real kitty.
Adorable.
Very cute. Alright. Well, can we present? We can't present any evidence. Okay, so we gotta move on.
Aw, people are like, oh, I feel bad for not typing. You guys are fine. You're fine, Kiri and Tim. You guys are completely fine. I mean, there's not too much to say. We're just sitting here reading all the dialogue, so...
Yeah, that's true.
It's not like we're really doing a court case right now, because we're just investigating, so it's kind of like just learning about things.
Well, I guess we should go back to Garadeb's room, see if there was anything else. 19th of February, Mr. Garadeb's room. Ah, you pair again. Hello.
I do feel like every time Mr. Sholmes comes in, it kind of like takes a long time. It kind of cuts into the...
That's okay. Tell me, was the detective chap, I forget his name, still hard at work down there?
Herlock Sholmes?
Yes, rings a vague bell. All the detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid.
What are you not above, dude?
Well, Mr. Sholmes is in his element down there. Jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, Joan.
All right.
Now then, why don't you
Oh!
For the umpteenth time, woman, will you watch what you're barley doing?
I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir.
Ah yes, of course. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to take your leave if you're so kind.
What? We just tried to answer one question. Oh, yes, of course. We are deeply grateful for all of your assistance. Or lack thereof.
Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk with young foreigners like yourselves. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you could see yourselves out. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garadeb is hiding something. And some other avenues of investigation seem open to us at the moment. Perhaps we should do some digging.
Great to see you guys in the chat, and again, thanks so much Capcom for providing a copy of this game. Great to see you, Kevon Cabrera, hello, hi Gochita Blue, Poor Properly Woman, hello Rebecca Nani Kiamano.
How did he get up here?
Oh my gosh, it's Holmes.
What in the world?
Okay.
What's he doing over there?
Oh, Mr. Sholmes!
Aha! We meet again, my dear fellows. Good gracious, when did he sneak in here?
Oh!
Herlock Sholmes, sir, at your service.
Oh, whatever are you doing over by the window?
I am given to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madam. Yet sadly, cheerful as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks any aperture of such observation.
Cheerful.
So, the look of liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here. Keeping an eye to one's window at dusk is the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering. And one other thing, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, me? I thought perhaps you might be in need. of a certain great detective's great mind. Oh! Wait, what? What is he talking about? Is he... I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon.
Oh, do you mean Mr. Sholmes, that...
There is a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes have seen the most trivial trifles. I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruhodo? I think so. There's just time enough for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let's conclude the matter before dark. Oh, no. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Garadeb, though it would seem you are a military man of considerable distinguished service, your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what one would call first-rate. I'm afraid, sir, that it is all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I've been able to draw by careful observation of your living arrangements. I beg your pardon. The first is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care.
What?
And the second is that as a result of this beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you. Oh!
Mr. Naruhodo, look!
The old man's broken out in quite a sweat.
Oh.
Unbelievable. It seems Sholmes' conclusions are both spot on.
Oh, wow.
How could you possibly?
Because he's Sherlock Sholmes.
How could I possibly know? You mean to inquire? Haha. The game is afoot. The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts. Ah!
Oh!
And I know only too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular.
Yeah! Christina says, here we go again. That's right,
The Great
Christina.
Deduction. The game is afoot.
Yeah!
Topic 1. Nature of the Beast. Uncertainty shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on rampage of late within these four walls.
It's the cat.
Thus, we are faced with questions that form might this beast take? As for the man with military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garadeb, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that ran rampant here is revealed by that lion's statue. Yes, though an army man, you appear unimposing at best. A fact that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, the king of beasts. What is this piffle, I ask you? In the end, your admiration became so great, in fact, that you had a living, breathing specimen shipped from India, which you tried to keep in this very house. What?
Oh my gosh.
Yet living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you had imagined. The chilling traces of wild rampage are very much in evidence.
Well,
Yet, as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madam?
not me.
I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to be within my glance in your direction.
It is?
The dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. For protruding form is a handbill advertising a circus show.
Oh!
Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Garadeb, at Batty's Circus, a traveling show currently joning in a nearby park. I have observed the tents. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe. I most certainly did not. I believe I have made my point.
It's a cat.
The fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion. And a simple visit to the circus now will reveal the lion prancing jubilantly through a ring of fire.
Mr. Sholmes.
A rampaging lion.
Asiatic lion.
Asiatic lion. Okay. So it's a Japanese cat, but it's not.
Circus.
Now, Mr. Garrideb. It is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you, is veritably tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Amid fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go. The strain of loss, something so dear to you, is clearly visible in your visage. I think the guy used to be married. It looks like he's wearing it's either like a high school ring or that's a wedding ring on his finger. Nonsense, man, I simply... But what, you must now ask ourselves, is that true cause of this pain? And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is a pile of bills that was given rise to the pain you suffer. Every envelope contains another demand for payment. For cartloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on your financial circumstances of your household. And so you had no choice but to let it go. Yes, well, Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack.
An unimaginable...
That's quite right. The aftermath, which can be clearly seen observing the carpet over there. There was a fire.
Oh, wow.
A very expensive wooden carpet, if I'm not mistaken. Woolen carpet.
Oh, dearie me.
What could have caused such destruction? Outburst? This time, madam, I'm afraid that it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eyes has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only to look at the Tower of Cakes. There is no creature more dangerous on this earth than a beast with an unsatisfied appetite. Yeah, but if lions are anything like cats, chocolate would kill it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Was it or was it not once said by a certain noblewoman, if they have no bread, let them eat cake? Food is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact. Whoops.
Whatever do you mean, then?
Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its prey. I'm sure I need not spell out the nature of his final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There is only one logical conclusion. There is. Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. The teeth marks in the carpet are a perfect match with those of a lion I once saw in India.
What?
The carpet gnawed at by a starving lion. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle. They're like...
Oh.
Yeah!
Sorry.
What is the matter with you, Joan? You're pouring scalding hot tea all over me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Garrideb. I'm afraid I didn't notice again.
My deductions can be straighteningly sharp. It stands to reason that your cup runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times too.
Oh, my.
Mr. Sholmes, sorry to butt in again, but could I make an observation? Why, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. What is it again? Well, your deductions just now... Do you really think a lion could have fit inside a room of this size? Indeed. It is only explanation for the facts. The terrifying truth all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense. But wouldn't that be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well?
But if an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, surely Mr. Garrett and his maid would have been hurt or worse.
That's true. Guys, I need to delay the other stream. I noticed that we're running over into it, so just 1 second, please.
Yeah, that is true. A lion, I mean, it would probably attack more than just the carpet. Well, I mean, some people have exotic pets, and they don't, like, if the owner knows how to handle them, they wouldn't hurt them, but they might claw the carpet and stuff. So, I mean, I guess what's-his-name isn't too far off. If he really did have a pet lion, it might tear up the carpet, and he might have to get rid of it. It's possible, but I kind of think it's a cat, because honestly, like, if that shelf was taken down by a lion, I think the whole shelf would come down, whereas the cat just kind of, like, messed it up a little bit.
Indeed. Yeah. It might be, I mean, that house cat we saw downstairs, it might be the owner's cat. Also, I noticed that, again, the gentleman is wearing a ring. There was some type of incident that happened because there was a fire on the floor that they're trying to cover up with that awning.
Yeah, that's true.
As well as that expensive carpet is ruined, too. Also, the fire was caused by that candlestick that he keeps for sentimental reasons. I think his wife died in a fire. Or something.
I don't know.
Which is why he hasn't gotten rid of the candlestick, and also it's why his house is in such, like, disarray. Notice how the paintings are all crooked, and, you know, he's just kind of not really doing anything with his life, just sitting around drinking tea with his maid.
He probably would fire his maid, but then he can't because he really wants somebody around.
He also needs that social standing. Remember what Mr. Sholmes said, if somebody has one maid, that would make them middle class. So if you and I had a maid right now, that in, you know, the
that era.
At that era, it'd be considered middle class. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Ah, that is where we are stuck now. No doubt the former military man held his own against the beast using that large cannon. Oh my gosh. I thought you said that they sold the lion to the circus.
And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing. But I don't believe I've ever heard of a lion that drinks tea.
Ah, my dear Miss Susie, it occurs to me with such regularity that irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands on the great British soil, they are infused with a highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Oh, what a glorious notion!
No. No, no, no.
Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's your turn to shine again.
I had a feeling that was coming.
A slight massage, that's all Mr. Sholmes' deductions need. You can do it!
Excellent. I have been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. We don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Natsumi's case, but still, it is fun. Uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. At least, that's what I want to believe. Let us start again. From the beginning of Herlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. A course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. The nature of the beast. It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus we are faced with the question, what form must this beast take? Ah, for a man with military breeding, your eyes are very uncommonly candid.
Oh my gosh.
Your glance, Mr. Garadeb, leads us directly to the answer.
A lion.
The true nature of the beast that was run rampant here is revealed to be that of a lion statue. I really didn't see the lion thing coming.
No, but if you observe Mr. Garredub's reaction, it rather seems as though some beast did indeed run amok here in this room.
Yeah, something with a very fierce nature. But it couldn't have been a lion transported from India. So what was it then?
We must follow Mr. Garredub's gaze. That will lead us to the true answer.
Follow his gaze. There's a picture.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, the maid is his wife? Oh,
Wait,
what?
Why is it smashed? Why is her face smashed in?
Because he doesn't want people to know the maid is his wife. He's not really middle class at all. What is this photograph?
It appears to be from Mr. Garredub's wedding. He looks very happy, doesn't he?
He does, but you can't make out his bride.
No, how unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face.
I wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve too deeply here. Yeah, that's the maid.
That is so messed up.
Why would you have your maid?
Why would you make your wife be a maid?
Exactly. Why would
So
you do that?
rude.
That's messed up.
Take that!
Newlywed bride. That's why he has the lion statue. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by the newlywed bride. Precisely, Mr. Naruhodo. No other explanation could possibly fit. I was just throwing people off with the idea of a lion. Yes, this famed print pictures your wife, Mr. Garredeb. And while we lament on the fact that her face is obscured, we can still make out her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they must contain. My gosh. Indeed, you surely, any woman of such powerful constitution would be honored, be described as a beast. No.
What?
Honored might be stretching a point. Too late, the fact remains that the beast which so clearly savaged this room was your wife, Mr. Garredeb.
What?
Yeah! The chilling traces of wild rampage are still very much in evidence.
Well,
Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. She's the maid, you idiot. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madam?
me?
I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me, with one glance in your direction,
It is?
your dress pocket gives off a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts.
The poor, fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself.
Well, I don't know about fragile.
Oh dear. Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of Miss Garredub anywhere.
But it seems there may be a clue as to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder whether Mr. Garredeb's wife could be... Can we look at the... Oh, there's... Yep, it's her. There's the wedding ring. Right there.
Oh wow.
That's horrible. Why would you make your wife
What
dress up as a
a
maid?
jerk.
Take that!
Not even dressing up, but like she has to sit there pouring tea.
That's why she's bad at it.
I would burn him too.
Your wedding ring gives a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. Ryunosuke, don't call her a beast.
Ah, what?
Indeed it does. That flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away.
Oh, it's the same ring.
For it is identical to the one shown on the hand of Mr. Garredeb's bride in the photographic print.
Wow.
In other words, you are no ordinary household maid. Which means they have no wealth. No? You are Mr. Garredeb's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Garredeb herself.
Unlucky.
Oh my! What?
So why did she destroy the house?
I don't think she did.
Well, jolly fine... Oh, my gosh. Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. As you rightly surmise, this is the wife, yes, my Joan. Rather let herself go, you might say, but this was a volley of a go!
Burn him!
It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances, sir. After all, you are a retired army man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. I would assume, therefore, you have insignificant means to employ a maid. Would that be correct? It is not right, I tell you. I was second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man has his pride, don't you know?
Yeah, he has some of it.
By golly, it's a sorry thing when a chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ. Yes, here in London one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are folly.
Agreed.
You mean Mr. Garadeb has his wife work as his maid?
Yup.
Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Garadeb?
I hope he pays her.
Only in company, obviously. But listen here. This must remain a secret. Tip-top secret, please!
We'll see, dude.
Nope, we're gonna expose it in court. Probably.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun. The carpet gnawed at by a starving lion. Now, Mr. Garadeb, it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that, blith pose, the distress you, indeed, in that pose, the distress has lost cause for you is vertebly tangible. I think she punched him. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel... Mr. Sholmes is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Garadeb's wife a beast.
Yes! As a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable.
But Miss Garadeb is standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he?
Oh, how true! So perhaps that supporting arm that seems to be propping up his head has some other significance then.
Yeah, he's got a shiner, I bet. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garadeb's pain is tangible, though. What could that pose signify? Let's take a look, shall we? There's a wait. Yeah, she got him good. Oh!
Oh my! Look at that bright red mark! Gosh, that's quite something, and clearly made by somebody's hand.
Yes, Mr. Garadeb has been slapped on the face, it seems. Very hard.
I've never seen such a clearly defined mark before. Whoever could have done such a thing?
Well, there's a very limited number of candidates, I'd say. The slap cheek present. Oh my gosh.
She's mad.
Yeah. Alright. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel revealed by that slap cheek. And of course, the delivery of that impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade was you, Madam Joan.
Oh, well, yes.
You have been desperate to hide the slap mark on your cheek, sir. Oh! How the blazes? How did you work out that, man? Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow. Right. That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. To keep your other side from view. Well, humph. Now, let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjugated to such a violent slap? Because you made your wife dress up as a maid for not, other purposes. Sorry. In other words, we must ask ourselves what caused Madame Garrideb to fly into a rage.
Look at her. She has to be a maid.
And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. The bills.
Oh.
Yes, it's a pile of bills that was given rise to the pain you suffer.
Did Mr. Sholmes say that the bills were all for lion fodder?
Yeah, but now we have established that the lion never existed. But which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food
Is Mr. Garrett.
was his wife.
Mr. Naruhodo, she's a person, not a thing.
Yeah, well, she's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. One so hard that it left a perfect hand mark, in fact. It's pretty impressive.
Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, though? I wonder why.
I'd love to know the answer to that question. Well, I guess we'll present the bills.
Take that!
But why would she be mad about the bills if they both were eating all the food?
What causes the most pain to any man? The answer, of course, is a pile of bills and an empty purse. In fact, just imagine it bringing the tears to my eyes and make this one finger look like two. Are you quite concentrating? You've identified exactly what I did originally. Oh, yeah. So I have. Sorry. Very well. Very well. I do understand, I'm intimidable as I am. People do try to, whatever. But you won't make a great, you won't make a great detective like that. Not even a great detective's assistant.
I think it was like imitatable as I am.
An assistant's assistant then? Alright, I'll think again. Okay.
It's not the bills, it's something more sinister, says Fernando. We already know that the cause of Mr. Garrideb's pain is, of course, don't we?
The slap across the cheeks. The bright red mark.
Mr. Garrideb and his wife seem to share a very deep and loving bond.
Perhaps, but it's said that the stronger the people's feelings are, the more fiercely they react to betrayal.
You seem to know a lot about the ways of the heart, Mr. Naruhodo.
I read it in a popular novel that I borrowed from Kazuma. So we're looking for a reason why his wife would have felt betrayed by her husband then. He wouldn't be cheating on her, would he?
Possible.
There's a bookmark.
Oh my gosh,
He
the
cheated
scoundrel.
on her. You jerk.
Someone must have been reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here. Look. Mr. Garrideb is clearly an avid reader.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't think this is a bookmark.
Oh, no, so it isn't. It's a note written in a woman's hand. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary.
And look next to the signature here.
Lip marks made with lipstick. Oh, what a passionate and romantic gesture.
Don't get any ideas, Susie.
Oh, dear, I'm sorry.
So this mark is actually a love note then. Oh, no. Well, here we go then. Oh, yeah. She tore up the apartment.
I would have too. The scoundrel.
Exactly.
The cad. Oh, dear. This plate has been smashed into pieces.
Yep.
And nobody seems inclined to tidy up the mess.
Perhaps it's some sort of high art?
He can clean up himself. Really, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, anyone who uses the cannon on display in their living room is clearly a little eccentric.
Yes, let's call it eccentricity.
Okay, so we know the broken plates, all this other stuff, so we'll present the love note.
Burn him again! Burn him with a T again.
So, it's this love note that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary, passionate indeed. Perhaps the sender of this note, a certain Miss Mary, is the fly in the ointment here? Oh! But I didn't know the Bali woman.
You're right. You liar.
You don't know her? The note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how it got there. It was just in there, you say? That's right!
A likely story.
Now listen, Joan, old thing. I explained at the time. I bought the book secondhand place, and that note was already there. So the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean? That's right, that's what I'm saying!
A likely story indeed.
For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name. It's written to James. My name, in case you've forgotten, is John!
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's not written to him.
A likely story!
Are you questioning my name now? Oh!
Huh.
And there you have it. Arouse the suspicion of the female heart, and you unleash a beast with a most ferocious bite. Oh! Now, in the final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack.
Unimaginable?
Quite right. The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by the observing of the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, dearie me. Dearie.
What could have caused such destructive outburst?
Aww.
This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me.
Oh.
Your wandering eyes have settled upon the very neatly indeed. It's the candlestick. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only to look at the Tower of Cakes. No, it's the candlestick.
No. But surely Miss Garridab didn't eat the carpet.
No, of course not, I think. But there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray that this room is a result of her wild temper.
No, that's not true. So this is the last part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction that we need to fix. We need only to follow Miss Garridab's gaze, and that will tell us the real answer.
All right, let's see what we can see now.
Yes.
Okay, so it's the candlestick.
It's the candlestick.
Take that!
It burnt the carpet, and they can't replace it because they're too poor.
There you go. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we only need to look at the candlestick, Mr. Sholmes. Most illuminating, my dear fellow, and of course, the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth. Yes, the remains of the ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured as clearly visible. Ah, the candle's right there. Indeed, they are scorch marks at the edge of a clearly given the truth away. Scorch marks?
Oh.
It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation.
Oh.
Mrs. Jones' mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face, whoops, that was Ryunosuke, but on the entire room. The force of her strike caused a candle to fall from the holder.
Oh, wow.
And in seconds, the carpet was alight and the whole corner of the room in flames. Yes, For the most fiercest beast in the world is neither a violent lion nor a vengeful woman, but fire. And in this room, the ferocious beast bared its claws and ran amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you see, there is but one conclusion here. After the sparks of the marital discord, this room was the scene of a fire. He can walk. Mr. Sholmes, sir. I salute you!
Oh, he fell over.
Aw, she caught him.
She loves him.
Very cute.
She loves him, but she was super angry.
Well, yeah, I mean...
She thought he was cheating on her, especially after he makes her pose as a maid.
Deduction complete. Elementary. Very sad. It's these dashed long winter nights, you know. Nothing to do but read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just around the corner. But all my old novels, I buy all my novels there. And in the pages of one particular novel, you discovered some rather illicit material.
For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems.
Don't know about admonished. Demolished might be rather close to the mark. And Beast is most certainly an adept.
She's still mad at him, though.
Here we go again.
But...
And the carpet was destroyed by fire when the candle fell on the floor? Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bolly of a thing. It was caught between the old Six Rage and the raging flames. You paint a torrid picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining. That's sympathy for you. It didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bolly furniture started going up as well. We've had to hide the mess behind the screen for the time being.
Over here, Mr. Gutterdab.
Well, you have nothing more to hide now, if you allow me.
That's why they were hiding it. Oh, wow.
I had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke. There's some books that are okay.
Yeah.
Gosh! Then the wife started hurling things at me.
She was so mad. What a terrible sight it must have been.
There was I, backed up against a window under heavy enemy fire. And the books, incendiary books, incoming 10 to the dozen. Worst of it, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride. The Lion's Pride, ah yes. Your notorious love of big cats coming through again. I assure you, the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest. So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast rampage.
Mr. Sholmes' deductions turned out to be correct once again.
It can really only be described as a great British wonder, I suppose.
So he did lose something related to lions.
I tell you, it was a total carnage. Flames everywhere, and the old stick in the full fettle. Out of interest, what time of day was that? Not sure I can remember. It was 2 days ago now. Let's see, around 5 o'clock, I think.
So at exactly the same time, as a terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window on the street below. That's why they didn't want to talk about it, because it was a horrible night for them.
Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you that. The whole Blighty could have been flattened outside my window at that moment. And I wouldn't have noticed a dashed thing.
That's why they didn't notice.
That makes sense.
Oh, really? They were having a fight, so they didn't notice anything outside. There was someone being killed and they couldn't even notice it because they were fighting.
Mr. Sholmes? Yes, Mr. Naruhodo? What can I do for you? Well, I think we've got to the bottom of Mr. Garadeb's situation now. But what does it have to do with Mr. Natsumi's circumstances? I can't help you there, I'm afraid. What? My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the outset. I warned you that although I knew the retired army man to be hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret could prove to be of relevance or not. I just knew you were going to say that.
Wow. It's not relevant.
Good show. Now, Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one or two categories. Those relevant to the case and those not. That makes no sense to me at all.
Well, at least they had an alibi why they didn't see anything.
Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your own mind now. Sorry. Visiting hours at the prison will soon be over. Oh no! It is that time already.
If we're to accept Mr. Natsumi's case, we have official paperwork to attend to.
So that's it. No more time to think, huh?
Perhaps if you like to betake yourselves to bidding us farewell now then, I must prepare supper for Mr. Garadeb.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Thank you both very much for your time.
Wow, Natsumi will be waiting for us, I suppose. But I'm gonna have to give him an answer. Okay, so that's it. That's all.
Oh my gosh, I feel terrible. So there was somebody being murdered out the window, but they couldn't see anything.
No, they literally had a fire going on and a rampaging wifey.
It makes complete sense now why he was kind of prideful of all his stuff, because it's hard for him because he has no money. He's trying to hang on to. I kind of feel bad for them. Like, they're doing the best they can. It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison.
Yeah, I know. Let's hail a car.
Huh?
Oh.
What's the matter?
It looks like something's going on over there in front of the Gyrodeb's house.
Huh?
Who's
What?
that? I know not thee, old man. Fall to thy prayers. Who you callin' old man, you rum-looking nimmy-pimmy? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than the dream in your philosophy. Who's Horatio, fella? What are you on about?
Excuse me?
What? Who are you now?
I'm sorry. It just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see.
Oh, lawyer? What? If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I've studied some English law. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Fine. I'll be on my way for today, but you mark my words. This ain't over yet. Get thee to the nunnery. Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you?
I don't know what's happening at this point.
I have no idea. Probably a character that'll be important later.
This guy looks over the top. I do hope that you're not injured, sir.
Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle, thank you. What was that about? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt in your philosophy. I'm not Horatio either.
Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here in the Gyrodeb residence?
Oh, far Eastern maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I dwell in this humble abode. Mr. Gyrodeb mentioned that they had another lodger, didn't he? This must be the guy. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor? Oh, yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy of the palmist in my battle of words, ne'er could there be. Sorry, battle did what now? Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night. I see.
They both like English literature. I don't fully understand, but it seems that Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances, at least.
So, fair maiden, so good gentlemen, I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well. He's a thespian.
I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room.
It seems he's unaware of what happened to Mr. Natsume, so he really can't help us. With Natsume-san and that man as lodgers, the Gyrodeb house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'll go find a carriage now.
Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return.
Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. That was interesting. Oh,
we got a super chat.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. 19th of February, 6:31 p.m. Local prison, cell number 9. This guy. He reads too much. Oh, it is you! You are here. You came. The student of the Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Fun fact, this guy's only appearance in this game. Wow.
Thank you, VG Shine, for the super chat. You're breathtaking.
I can't believe you came back. I'm so touched. Oh my gosh.
Oh, we are sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume.
Oh no! Thank you for coming. Relax, 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 relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never failing Nipponese! Oh, now, let's not get carried away, okay? Oh, I quite agree. There is nothing more reassuring than familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand...
It's Sherlock Holmes!
It is though friendship of transcending international borders that only appreciates the fact. Such is my belief, at least. Oh, it is, yes! Oh, it is you! The miserable rotten spy! Herlock Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here? Elementary, I have no intention of doing anything per se. Save observation, of course.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
Well, having encountered some curious reading material in the gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our devastated friend is faring. Gloomful room! At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow. In a sense, it is the superior option. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight and cost me not a penny. Ah, you! How dare you! Herlock Sholmes! Oh.
Poor Soseki.
I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. It should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake.
Yep.
Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck will be cursed into Mouse trials well. My whole life is be damned.
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean. And there is much truth into Mr. Mustache's words. What? Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say, for the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial. What's that supposed to mean? I guess we have to talk to him now. Cursed trial. Mr. Natsumi, what did you mean by what you just said now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed? Oh no, why? Why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. Haha, I didn't mean anything by it. Oh, I see. That's really, it really agitated him though. You don't mean the trial is, cursed somehow? Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey? The Reaper? Oh no, what do you mean? Please tell me. Summarize it in 16 salient words. Salient? No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever. My goodness, can it really be true? That was the 16 words exactly.
Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances.
Mr. McGiddle, yep. Nani! Ah, I'm impressed, Miss Susie. You have an eye for detail.
Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us.
Mr. Sholmes, surely it can't be that having failed to have the accursed convicted, Lord Van Zeeks killed the man himself.
Oh no! He couldn't have, surely. Could he have?
Aha! You have a wonderful notions! Sorry? The man isn't a mass murderer, he's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow.
Oh, yes, and a vampire. Why, of course he is.
Of course he is, then! Why are you trying to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. He's a vampire.
Huh?
What on earth do you mean by that? The Reaper.
Creepy.
Indeed. Van Zeeks is quite an exceptional man, however, in London courts of law. Exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. Ah, that's good. Natsumi looks like he's gonna cry tears of joy. Ah, yes, you are no doubt aware in the British criminal trial there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of law, whilst the jury offers public opinion on common sense. It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, the public option in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. Right. Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling impostors and witnesses, and so on. By such underhanded means, those who would want to are to be able to sway the jury, which means that even in the light of an irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail.
But it means the wrong verdict can be passed.
And sadly, is from time to time, my dear madam, that it simply is the reality of the situation. But that's alright, and that's alright? However, those indicated by Lord Van Zeeks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed.
Oh my!
Though the case was adjourned, may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom. Within months, they all disappear. It is most striking. Disappear, but how? Ah, by all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. Perhaps they're suddenly overcome by raging fever. Or perhaps attacked by highwaymen. Oh, no, 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 no.
This is terrible.
All examples of reality are the events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo. Haha, I knew it! I'm a dead dodo done for doomed! Ow. My leg. Oh.
Are you okay, sweetheart?
My leg is twitching, honey. It hurts. When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to your room at the house, I assume, right? Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain, but I only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself. That didn't take long, then did it? Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time, from dawn until dusk. So I shut myself away in my room, so even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away.
You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time.
I had to move a number of times, most recently, to that room on, Barrow Road a week ago now. Yes, so why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient. The rent is cheap. I have so little money, it's appealed to me right away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops. He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late. So I told him, "If you have something to say, then say it. But if not, don't mention it in the first place." Yeah, well said, I guess. But it is true. It is all true. You mean the room really is cursed then? Ever since I moved into that windowless, stupid apartment, my sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I wake feeling as though I'm being choked to death. And in my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I am
You shouldn't have moved.
surrounded by scary, sinister spirits.
Yeah, and I feel like that sometimes.
If only there was someone, just one person on my side. Can no one find it in their heart to believe in me? Really, no one at all? To believe? Yes, to believe.
Maybe the room is cursed.
I don't know. Or the windowlessness of the place and the candlelight and the smell of the books and the fact that he is...
The fact that he's downtown in a really bad neighborhood could feel like it's cursed.
Yeah. Mr. Sholmes? Mr. Naruhodo, pray what can I do for you? It's about the case on the ship. If you recall... What relevance does this have? The ship, yes. That case. The one with the snake. Well, yeah, sort of. At the time, I was the suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us to investigate. I did I? Interesting. What I want to know is why? Why did you believe me? I see, yes. You mean... because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in a locked room? Well, if you like, yeah. I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said I didn't do it. But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts and suspected me a little. I think perhaps you have misunderstood. Neither I recall believing in you, nor in that which you were telling me. What? You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in.
What? What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
I make up my own mind about what is to be believed and what is not. It should also be believed in something I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I'm concerned. But I could have betrayed your trust. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is overused excuse in my opinion, meaning... well, whether or not you should trust another is the final analysis down to oneself. It is the matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, he is right! He is right! Mr. whatever. Whether or not I can be believing in myself,
He
huh?
quoted some kind of book, I think.
Yeah, probably. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how the faith he has into himself. You were right, Kazuma. Okay. Well, my dear fellows, it's time we were leaving, I believe.
Already?
Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out.
Aww.
There is a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me?
Don't say it in front of Soseki. He can't leave. Oh dear. There is never enough time, is there? Yeah, Rebecca says he needs a hug. He does. Virtual hug, Soseki.
Mr. Natsumi? If you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you.
Huh?
The student from the Naruhodo Esquire! As I said, I only experienced the British courtroom for the first time yesterday. And although the man I represented was found not guilty, I lost the sight of something crucial? Something crucial? What to believe in. The defendant, justice, or the truth. How to believe even. But I think I finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else. To trust my instincts.
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo.
And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsumi, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court. Naruhodo Esquire! I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end with every weapon available to me. So I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue. Of course, Mr. Natsumi. It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was in many ways made up from the onset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it. Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got here in the end, eventually. Miss Susie?
Yes?
Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court?
Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant, Ryunosuke.
Okay. The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind. But it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believes in me too. So it's time. Time that I learned to believe in myself. Natsumi-san, no one Natsumi-san has no one. He's done... Natsumi is no one. He's all alone. So it's my job to help him to fight in his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all my strength I can muster. That should be it. Yep, good. Alright guys, sorry, my leg is like twitching like crazy, so I kind of lost it a little bit near the end.
Sorry, sweetheart.
It just started to like violently shake, and I can't feel my legs, so I need to rest up before the next stream. I don't even know what time it is, but if it's anywhere close to 7, yeah, I'm not going to the next stream just yet. But anyway, guys and gals, thank you so much for watching. As always, please leave a comment after this video. It can be anything to help with the algorithm. We're slipping in attendance as well as like getting recommended to other YouTubers. So by all means, please leave a comment. I'd like to see at least 30 to 35 comments after the video, because it does really help us get seen and things like that. It's known as audience participation and engagement with the video. But finally, we start the trial tomorrow in the courtroom. So that will be interesting. It'll probably be another 2-hour episode because, you know, these Ace Attorney things take a while. But around 7:30, 7:45 will be your next stream. And then Cat Quest will be after that. So I hope you'll look forward to Brittany Luna's ultimate stream.
Awesome.
And thank you so much for watching another Ace Attorney. We'll see you guys later with Bowser's Inside Story. So thanks for watching, everybody.
God bless and happy gaming. See ya.
And thank you, Capcom, for providing a copy of this game. We're having a lot of fun with it. Peace, guys.